and welcome to Penny's Pantry, the place where the recipes are simple, the stories are real, and every bite is made with love. And today we're going to be cooking up one of those cozy dishes, something that reminds me of my childhood growing up in an Italian household. It feels cozy, like you're getting an Italian hug from a great relative. Today we're going to be talking about sausage and greens over pasta, a rustic, flavorful, and secretly packed with nutrition great dinner. Now let's get into it. So first things first, let's talk about garlic. Like I say in a lot of my recipes, not all of them because some of them have sweet recipes, so I don't use garlic for those, but I always use garlic in, well, I shouldn't say always, but I use garlic in almost everything that I cook. And I start with smashing up my garlic just with a little bit of pressure just to get the skins to come off pretty easily with the side of my knife. Now, if you need to watch a video, garlic and olive oil is on my YouTube channel, Penny's Pantry Food. It's garlic and olive oil is the name of um, it's the name of the video that you can watch. I go through a couple of different kinds of olive oil. I also talk to you about garlic and how to peel it and how to slice it and how to chop it. And it's something really great. And the link is in the show notes. But with the side of my knife, I smash down the garlic so that the skin will come off and it peels easily. And now after that, I'm going to slice it. I'm not going to chop it. I'm going to slice it. Just slice it. And I like big chunks of garlic. Now, if you want to chop it up, you can feel free to do that. But I'm going to slice it over this for this one. Because I'm feeling rough and I'm feeling rustic and there's no wrong way. Now, this is when I add a generous swirl of good extra virgin olive oil into my pan and I let it heat up slowly. While it's warming, I get to the greens. Now, here's where the dish starts to shine, so to say. Today, I'm going to use a rainbow Swiss chard. Now, these are the Swiss chards with the stems are yellow and red. They're just not green. Okay. You can use the green ones, it's fine, but I like the color. I love color, so I use those. And I also have a handful of mustard greens that I bought at the farmer's market. So here I'm going to use Swiss chard and mustard greens. Now we're going to get into some other options that we can use, but these are the two that I got at the farmer's market locally, and this is what we're using for this recipe today. So Swiss chard is one of those underrated greens. It's beautiful with colorful stems, the rainbow ones, but it's also loaded with vitamins A and C and K, and they're a great source of magnesium, potassium, and iron. And all of that just comes in a handful of greens. And I chop it loosely and make sure to keep those stems because I want the color and I want the texture. Next up, we're going to use the mustard greens. Now, these guys are peppery. They have a little bit of spice and they're full of flavor. And they're also a powerhouse of vitamin K and antioxidants. Together, these greens aren't just filler, they support your bones, your immune system, and even help fight inflammation. Pretty amazing for something that cooks down to just a few minutes. Now, while those greens are off to the side, I grab my sausage and I use my Italian sausage that I buy locally. You can also make your own, which maybe we should do a video about that because I do make my own sometimes. My husband and I, we make a venison sausage once or twice a year. So maybe we'll have to video that. Anyway, so I use the Italian sausage blend that I bought from my local farmer. And you can use the spicy kind or the sweet kind, or you can mix the two. Now, this one I'm just using the sweet because that's just me. I like that. I take it out of the casing. You can also find patties that aren't in casing, which works just as great. But I take it out of the casing and I break it up into the pan, which is now hot and sizzling. And you want to hear that sizzle. That's the flavor being born. Now, while we're here, let's talk about the sausage for a second. Yes, it's a richer ingredient. It also brings some protein to it, right? Because we know that it's a protein. Now, vitamin B is in the sausage and iron, and it helps balance with something fresh. right? So we like our leafy greens, but we also wanted a well-rounded meal with some protein too. And like I said, know where your meat is coming from. And this sausage is really great. It has a really great flavor to it, and you don't need a lot for tons of flavor. Now, while this is all cooking, I have on my other burner, I have my big pot of water coming to a boil so that I can get my pasta rolling. Now, today I'm using my homemade pasta, which you will see a link to that eventually. I haven't done that yet, but it's coming because it's been under request many, many times, especially from my great friends at York Carolina. They would love to have some really great homemade pasta. I know. So if you've never made it before, I'm gonna explain to you how really in depth in one of our videos very soon. But it's not hard. So don't be afraid. It really isn't hard to master the art of pasta. It really isn't. It You have to know where your ingredients are coming from, get the greatest ingredients you can, get the local eggs that you can find, and we're good. Anyway, if you don't want to make your own homemade pasta, you can use good pasta. And I have a link in the show notes to one of my favorite pastas when I don't have time to make it. Okay. Now, you want to find pasta that you like. Now, if you don't like the kind that I have linked, that's fine. Now, if you go to your grocery store, you're going to want to pick the fettuccine. The fettuccine is the flat one. Okay, you don't want the linguine. I mean, you can, but it's round and you want stuff to stick to it. So I use the fettuccine in this case. So you can use whatever kind you like, and that's no problem. It's up to you. This is your way to cook, not mine. I'm just showing you the basics, and you be creative and you switch it up to whatever you want to do. This recipe actually reminds me of something that I grew up with. We always had a great meal with pasta and greens and sausage. And it comes from different regions of Italy, southern regions like Calabria, where I have family from. The greens are there, the pork there, they're just everywhere, and everybody likes these kinds of fresh ingredients. And they've been combining hearty sausage with bitter greens for generations. And this is one of those combinations born out of necessity, but elevated with love. Some simple ingredients handled with care. That's the soul of Italian cooking. So once the sausage is almost cooked, I add my chopped garlic and toss in my greens. And you want to stir it really well so the garlic doesn't burn and everything gets coated with that flavorful sausage and oil and the yumminess. Then here's my secret move. Okay, you ready for this? This is really important and very, very hard to follow, I know. Once the greens are in and everything's tossed up and everything is all incorporated and everything is good, you know what I do? I turn off the heat and put a cover on the pot. That's it. That's all I do. Because I don't want to cook the greens. I just want them to steam. I want them to get softer. I don't want to cook them. I don't want to overcook my sausage. I want to just have everything just steam and cook down, but not cook. Does that make sense? So it's super hard, I know, but this is when the flavor gets really great. Because you don't want the greens to be burned. You want them just wilted. So you're gonna give it a quick stir, you're gonna put the cover on, and you're gonna turn off the heat. Now I have an electric oven, a stove, and I just leave it right on the hot coil. But if you have a gas stove, and that works just as well if you have a good cast iron pan that retains that heat really well. Now, if you have electric, give it a couple of stirs over the next couple of minutes. It's not that big of a deal, but it will continue to cook on that hot coil. Now, at this point, it smells like Nani's house. Now, I'm a Nani, so I could say that. But it does. It smells like Nani's house. That garlic, that sausage, that green. My goodness. Making my mouth water. Okay. They're really good. It's really, really good. Now, meanwhile, the pasta is getting cooked the way that the pasta is supposed to be cooked, depending on the package. Read your package, or if it's homemade, then if you're making your own pasta, you know how to make it. Anyway, now I take the pasta out of the boiling water and I put it into a big bowl, And just when the greens have wilted just enough, not that they're falling apart, but they're wilted just enough, but they also have a little bit of texture to them, everything's ready to go. You're going to do some salt, fresh cracked pepper, and stir it up again. And then you're going to pour the sausage and the greens over the pasta. You're going to mix it up with some tongs and make sure everything is touching everything and everybody's having a party in a bowl. Okay. Now, finally, this is one of those steps that I hope you don't forget it because it's really important. After it's all done, you take some really fresh Parmesan or Pecorino Romano cheese and you grate it and you put it over this pasta dish. It gives it a little bit of saltiness, but it ties it all together. It makes it feel like home. Now, if you didn't grow up in an Italian household, it might not feel like home to you, but it sure does to me. Now, this is the kind of meal that's satisfying without being heavy. It's packed with protein, it's leafy greens and flavor, and it's perfect for those nights when you want something real and comforting without spending hours in the kitchen. So, whether you're making this with homemade pasta or your favorite box of penne or fettuccine, whether you've got Swiss chard, broccolini, kale, or even spinach, just know that it's one of those meals that nourishes more, and it's for your body, and it's good, and it's the old world, a little modern, totally pantry friendly, right? Because that's the most important. So we want it to be easy to do. We want it to be easy. Easy is good. Local is good. Fresh is good. And one of the best ways to make this, if you can find it. Now, it's hard to find because it's a cold weather vegetable, and we live in the South, so it's really hard to find it down here. But when we lived in the North, broccoli rabe, that's really what it is. This is the best with broccoli rabe or broccolini, depending on where you're from. But it is. But you can't always find it, so you use other vegetables. Be creative. Think outside the box. As always, there's a short video on my YouTube channel, Penny's Pantry Food. It's available to watch. The link is in the show notes. And if you try this, and I'd love to hear how it turns out, tag me in your creations, drop me a comment from wherever you're listening. And if you like it, please share it with your friends and family. Thanks so much. Thanks for spending time with me outside my pantry. And next week, I'll be back with another easy, delicious recipe. Until then, shop local, know your farmers, and always try something new.